This is one of the 511, kind of like a pouch. I have two of these, and what they do is, I guess I have a modular system, so my tactical vest, I can remove these and then just attach them to my backpack. So some of my survival gear is in it. I have other things in there that I would use on a. You can basically say this is a kind of like my 72-hour pack, but instead of it's a pack, it's more like it's attached to a tactical vest. So it's a 72-hour tactical vest, if you want to call it that way. But let's break it down and show you what's in it. In this one, we have another Surefire flashlight. This is the E2L Outdoorsman. This is one of the more useful items. It's got really good luminosity. It's got variable, so you can bring up the luminosity or bring it down, and it's a thumb button. So this is pretty pricey. It is water resistant. This is one of the best flashlights on the market. I don't like buying, I do not advise going to any of those, I guess you can say Target or whatever, Walmart, Canadian Tire in Canada, and buying those cheap flashlights, because your flashlight is, I wouldn't say it's your life, but it is close to it. Without this, you could get lost real quick in the dark, or when the sun is setting. So it's very hard to work without a good flashlight. So I highly advise you, if you're serious about this kind of thing, dealing with SHTF scenarios, do not buy cheap flashlights. The only downside to this is that it uses proprietary batteries. Those Surefire batteries that I was talking about, yeah, it uses those. So that's its downside. Other than that, it is a very good investment, and I highly advise that you pick one up, at least one. So let's move on. Ziploc bag. Everything should be water resistant or waterproof. Everything should be in a Ziploc bag or something that's water resistant. In this pack, I have my gloves. I have my balaclava. I also have a work gloves. So this goes in here. Here I have my Surefire batteries. This is the water resistant. It's got a rubber seal, so it's a water resistant, waterproof in a way, case for my Surefire batteries, and these are really good. They have a 30-year shelf life, which means batteries tend to lose their power over time, but these Surefire batteries will not lose power over time. They will stay good on the shelf for up to 30 years. They are somewhat pricey, but again, do not buy, low quality items. Believe me, they will break when you're in the woods. There's nothing survives in the woods. Like, everything breaks down over time. But because you can only carry so much, you want to maximize that tool's use. You want to really invest in good quality stuff. And I had this. This was not necessary where I went because of the mountains. The mountains were blocking the signal. I had this just because it was part of my kit. So when I went up to the mountains, I basically brought the kit I would take had I need to run or escape from the city, etc. This is just an Eton. It's got a solar charger, a flashlight. It's not, don't rely on the flashlight on this. It's not that great. It's a crank radio. It was useful, but if you're going to the mountains, you should test to see if you're getting reception, because obviously I didn't get any reception. I was surrounded by mountains. So, something to think about. Okay, let's look at this one. Okay, this is important. This is a revision goggle. Okay, it's a revision military. This I spent some time on this one. Now, These are the goggles that you typically see on soldiers, etc. Except this one, I wear glasses, so you need a spare pair of glasses. Without it, you are literally blind. And I spent some extra money on getting my lenses attached to it, and these are very, very useful. They're not too expensive. I think the goggle itself is about $80. There's a little attachment about $12 or something like that, and the lenses is pretty much what cost the most. I think it's about $200 almost. Absolutely mandatory. If you wear glasses, I think most people, I don't know if they even think about that. That if you could lose your glasses. If you do, you're done. Doesn't matter all this stuff here. Unless, of course, your prescription's not that strong, then it's kind of okay. This is the Silver Wing. I guess you can, it's like a roof, a shelter. As you can see here. It's pretty useful. I didn't really use this. I didn't need to. But I have it because you need something to cover your head. What else do I have here? Oh, I have the... What is it? The Brunton, which is a butane lighter. Absolutely amazing. This is one of the most useful items. Now the thing is, this is waterproof. It's got a rubber seal in the thread here, and you can drop in the water and it should be okay. Now I didn't need to, because usually all my stuff is water resistant to a certain degree. If not, I put in a Ziploc bag. But absolutely, this is expensive though. I think this is, not even sure. I think I paid a lot for it, probably $50 or something like that. There were some reviews on this saying that, oh, people did not like this, but when I used it, it was quite amazing. It was raining, and I was able to still get a fire going because of the strength of the flame. Highly recommend it. A big lighter would not have achieved the same effect. So a butane lighter is not the same as a big lighter. And obviously a big lighter is not the same as a match. So more rope, 550 cord, 50 yards I think. Carabiner. Trash bags. Now trash bags are, most people overlook them. They don't really think trash bags are useful, but they're absolutely useful as a, let's just say you need to make a survival shelter. Trash bags are some of the best. They can act as a blanket. They're great insulating, so they're quite necessary. So you got to get rid of trash. You don't want to leave, if you're running away, you don't want to leave signs or trail, any kind of signs behind. So you pack up your stuff, whatever you've eaten. Let's say you've eaten MREs, you gotta put them somewhere. So these things are useful. I don't use axes, although I have them. I just don't. I use this for cutting branches. It's more than useful. It's light. Okay, axes are somewhat heavy, so you do have to weigh the use and its weight and shape. So an axe is not it doesn't have a good shape to it. It's not very compact, but this is. I highly advise getting one of these, and maybe even an axe together. But again, it's your weight, your stamina will determine, what you can and can't carry. Some people, not everybody can carry 55 pounds and do well. Some people can, some people can't. I mean, people in special forces carry up to 120 pounds. So I don't know how they do it, but they do it. Now this is, like I said, everything should be in water resistant container or water resistant bags. This is a kind of like, I think it's used for kayaks, kayakers, canoes, and these are water resistant bags that you can buy. These are my clothes. So in it, let's take a look. I don't think I have everything that I brought here, but clothing is very heavy. Just so you guys know, took me a long time to figure out what I needed to bring because of the weight, and I had to trim it down. So in this set, I have a water, a rain pants, necessary, raincoat, necessary as well. Some digital camo pants. I think these are 511s. They aren't bad. I wore them for about a few days. They are actually really good. I do recommend at least having something that will blend in the environment. If you're gonna have something bright like this, probably not too smart. But this isn't. You know, it's the. I bought this because of the material, and this is extremely warm. I don't know which company makes this. Mountain Equipment Co-op also. So absolutely very, very warm. Also we have inner layer. So this is inner layer, mid layer, and I have an outer layer. I'll show you the jacket that I wore. So that's what I have for clothing. Now this is my underwear. So there should be 2 briefs and 1 long john. If you're in the summer, you might just bring 2 briefs, 2 pairs of socks. You need at least 2. If you get your socks wet, it's not very fun. This is my food. There should be it was actually, when I went to the mountains, I used Mountain House dehydrated food, and it basically was up to here. It was 21, I think it was 19 pack or 21 pack that I was able to stuff in here. So I brought quite a bit, and not only that, I had. I bought a whole bunch of beef jerky, and that's all I really brought. I brought beef jerky and dehydrated food, nothing else. And this is my kitchenware, I guess. Let's see what I have here. These are obviously for eating. I did not bring this. This is Snow Peak. This is a it's like a stove kind of thing. It's pretty useful. I haven't used it yet. I did not bring this up to the mountains with me. What I did bring was this, the titanium hexagon wood stove. This was very useful. I highly do recommend it. As you can see, it's been used. Now, what it does is that you break this open. And what you do is you have to obviously put sticks, and it's very good at very good for cooking, heating water. It's, you know, I didn't have to bring fuel or anything like that. This is all I brought up north. I didn't bring anything else in terms of cooking. Now I put some another Snow Peak. This is for high altitude, and it's good for up in the mountains for alpine. So I have that, and these are cooking utensils, stainless steel. It's again from Tatanka as well. Very useful. It helped a lot. Might be a little bit big. Some people have smaller ones they use military, but for me, I think this was enough. Let's see what else I've got here.